innate that your talent can provide. That's all you have to figure out. Why not take a chance on faith as well? Not religion, but faith. Not hope, but faith. I don't believe in hope. Hope is a beggar. Hope walks through the fire and faith leaps over it. You are ready and able to do beautiful things in this world.
As a child, my parents always told me you can be whatever you want to be, you can do whatever you want to do. But I didn't totally believe it. Yet I went out in the world and I carried myself and I held my head high and I stood there and I looked people in their eyes and I talked to people as if I was deserving of everything that this planet has to offer. Confucius said one time, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
It's time to change. Time to walk down another street. What is your dream?
I just want to ask you one question. What do you want to be remembered for? I hope you want to be remembered as a grinder. Someone who fights their way through all the things that they go through. Do not give up on your marriage. Do not give up in school. Do not give up on your goals and your dreams. You want to be an athlete. Grind. You want to open up that company, that organization. Grind. Nobody has to convince you to do what you have to do. Wake up early. You stay up late. You do whatever you have to do to get where you need to go. Who gave me $5 grand when I was at Michigan State doing my program? I didn't have no budget, but I didn't need a budget. I had a trip. I didn't need no help. The president never came and said to me, E.T., we're going to help your program for this institution's law. The president never came, and I never quit. I never gave up. Why? Because it wasn't her dream in the first place to take care of the kids from the D. It was my dream. It was my goal. I don't expect you to believe in my dream like I believe in my dream. And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. It's yours. I don't know you would die. It's your dream. If you wanted to have it, get your butt up and make it happen. If you wanted to have it, rise and ride. The warfare is in your mind. It's not in your checkbook. It's not in your savings account. It's not on your job. The fight that you got to fight is in your mind. There is always someone on your heels. There's always someone with talent. There's always someone hungry to take what you have. So there's that preparation in that. It's within. It's in your why. If you're number one, you gotta act like you're still number two, trying to get there. These people are relentless. You are always replacing in the office, on your roster spot. And every year, I'm telling you, there's always going to be someone with more ability, with more privilege. So where's your competitive edge? It's up to you to muster it up and revisit your past where you weren't the top dog. Revisit that pain. Check yourself for that hunger and deliver it from the inside out. Outthink them, outsmart them, outwork them. I will not be outworked, period. But one of the things about life, you're going to get hurt. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to fail your way to success. But you got to be willing to experiment. You got to be willing to push yourself. You got to be willing to challenge yourself by putting yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. It's time to put your best foot forward. It's not about just putting in hours. It's about what are you doing with those hours you're putting in. Stay focused in accomplishing every single goal, every single day. We're trying to reach a pinnacle point. Nobody else can give you the effort that you need. Nobody tells you when you're successful. You know when you're successful. You know if you put in enough time to become great. You know when you're good. And there will be times when you feel like giving up. You just got to go one more hour. You got to go one more day. I guarantee you'll find that motivation that you need. There's something that's built on the inside of you that man cannot give you. Your life, your health, your business, the situation that you're going through, everything that you've
should push you to your best. Today is the day.
Simple question for you. Here's the question. Do you believe that one day you're not going to...
Good morning, all. Good morning. Welcome to Plan Your Trade Your Plan Forex Review for 27th of March 2019 with Great White. If you can hear me, please let me have your yes so that we can start off. We got some pairs to attend to. Please, if you can hear me, let me have your yes, please. If you can hear me, please, let me have your yes. If you can hear me, let me have your yes so that we can start. Okay. So as always, first things first, I would advise you go through this disclaimer. Advisable you have an idea of what you're about to get into. That aside, the next thing we start off with is today is the 27th. The Republic Bank of New Zealand had their great music, created a bit of fireworks overnight. Today we'll be by 9 a.m. we'll be having Draghi, ECB president, speaks. He's going to be speaking at ECB and its Watchers Conference in Frankfurt. Well, I don't know, but the deal is that there's no press conference after, so any comment he says during this speaking might be interpreted by the market. So you just see the effect play out on your chart. So you need to be a little bit careful at this time. So that aside, we move over to our charts for today. Okay, so the first pair we're going to start with is the dollar index. So as we can see, remember yesterday I talked about this level 96.80. The dollar index successfully closed above it, as you can see. So now, what is the next game plan? Most likely, the next game plan will be a retest of this level. So you'll be looking at something like this. You'll be expecting the dollar index, if it happens, come down to test this level to find it as support. Should this 96.80 hold as support, then there's a possibility that the dollar index will go higher. But looking at it, we might be seeing a right shoulder play out. Left shoulder, head, the right shoulder may be playing out. So there's a potential that price may still move higher. So we're looking at a potential head and shoulders on the dollar index. And let me add my feed. Place my feed from the swing high to the swing low. Price seems to this color I'm using for this picture. It's not really helping my eyes. Let me see if I can rearrange it. I need to see what level this is. These are moving colors. Not helping my eyes. Okay, so price yesterday had an issue at the 50%. As you can see, since the market is respecting this fee, had an issue at the 50% drop. Now it has broken above it. So most likely the level price will come down to test is 96.74. So if that should happen, let me pull up the EURUSD chart side by side so that you guys can see what I'm talking about when I mean there's a correlation. This is the dollar index for, see this move? That is this move here. So now the dollar index seems to be having a bit of a halting party. So that might cause him, so knowing that I would need to change this. What might most likely happen, you might see the dollar pull back into this area. If this area holds as support, then it will move back up. As you can see, there is already wicks to the high. You're already having wicks to the high of this pen. This is not the chart I wanted to pull up. Okay, yes, this is it. Let me drop it to 4 hours. Drop it to 4 hours. You can see. You see this move down here. You see this move up here. When it found support here, it started dropping. So for now, the Euro USD is at support. The dollar index seems to be having resistance. So we might see a bit of a pullback. Should the dollar index pull back to this 76, 74 area and find support, then there is a potential that it may continue its uptrend. May continue its uptrend as it broke the level we were talking about yesterday, which is at 96.8. So having taken care of that, the next pair I'll be moving over is to gold. This is gold on the daily time frame. So looking at gold, on the daily, we have a swing from this point to this point. As you can see, price turned at the 61.8. If you look to the left, that is also a supply zone. That was what dropped price yesterday, day before yesterday. Was it yesterday? Because basically that was what resulted in the price drop. So if we look at this on the 4 hour, there is a short-term trend line here. So there is a potential that gold may try to rally up to test here. As long as this support trend, this rising trend line holds, gold may try to test this high again. And should that high fail, then gold may come down towards 1311.11 or come down to test this lower channel here, this lower rising channel here. So that is it for gold. For now, gold is still bullish, but it seems to be correcting to the downside for now. How far it will correct to the downside, I can't say. All I know is that gold, looking at the way it closed yesterday, this is the daily chart. This is what we call almost a dark cloud cover, because the criteria for a dark cloud cover is that the current candle must close more than 50% into the body of the preceding candle. And that is what you have here. That is what you have here. So there's a potential, and as you can see, it seems to have done the pullback. Let me get my feet on the daily for this. Pick up this high to this low and see what has transferred. Yes, it has done the pullback. Price has gone to touch the 50%, as you can see. Let me use my finger. As you can see, price has gone to touch the 50% and it is already pulling back. That's the 50% of yesterday's range. So there is a potential that gold may continue its move down south. It's not a pair I trade, so I just do analysis on it. I don't have a vested interest in it. So there's a potential that having done 50% of yesterday's move, that gold may continue down south. So all you just have to do, your first warning signal will be a break of the 4 hour rising trend line. So once you get a break of the 4 hour rising trend line, you can go down to the 1 hour time frame. You go down to the 1 hour time frame. As you can see, it still seems to be respected. Let me get this well positioned. Still seems to be well respected. So a break below this on 1 hour, this is what you'll be waiting for on the 1 hour. You'll be waiting for a break, retest, and a move down to this point. That's what you'll be waiting for on the 1 hour for gold. So next pair we'll be looking at is that's it for gold. The next pair we'll be looking at Next we'll be looking at is the USDCHF. And you must be aware of something, that the oh, my line is breaking, and that means I have to change. Let me switch my network. Let me switch my network, please. Sorry for that. Just bear with me for a minute. Let me switch my network. Hello? Can you all hear me now? Hello? 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 Is it better now? Okay, thank you very much. So let's continue. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the USDCHF. So looking at the USDCHF on the daily point of view, looking at the USDCHF from the daily point of view, this support, this round psychological support still seems to be holding. And like I said yesterday, this is what we drew yesterday. I said, should price drop? As we can see, price did not drop. So let me get rid of this down. So price is currently at this resistance at 99.57. So this is the game plan now. Should this place hold as resistance, there exists the potential that price may come down. But should price close above it, and upon a retest of it as support, or upon a retest of 99.57, it serves as support, then it may go higher. So for now, price is at this level of resistance now. So we need to see price hold this level above. If it cannot, then there is a potential it may drop back down a bit. But for now, given the position, we might be seeing a little bit of a bullish move on price. We might be seeing a bit of a bullish move on price. Sorry, I didn't notice your comments. I'm using two screens, so I couldn't see the comments earlier because I was concentrating on the first screen. So please, if you have any comment, I'll be more attentive to your comments now so that I know if the network has any issue again. So for now, the USDCHF is at this point, it's at the level of resistance. So if it breaks above, it may continue higher into any of these areas up here. So let me see, do we have any? No. We don't have any rising trend line, except from here. I can pick a rising trend line from this point to this point. Here. So as long as this support trend line is holding on the USDCHF, there exists a potential that it may continue to move higher for the time being. May continue to move higher for the time being. So we have this long-term one, and we have this here. So this is it for the USDCHF. The next pair we'll be looking at is the EURUSD. EURUSD. Looking at the EURUSD, as we can see, yesterday, this was the analysis I said. If it comes to this trend line and finds support, it may go back up. As you can see, the trend line was broken. Trend line was broken to the downside. So now it's at support. What are we expecting? Remember what I said, that the dollar index has the potential to do a bit of correction into that level I pointed out. So if that should start to play out, it would relieve pressure on the EURUSD to pull up a bit. So when the EURUSD starts to pull up, it might come up to test this level. And should this level hold as resistance, then price may come down lower. Do I have any falling resistance on this pair? I think I can see, I think we can see from this point to this point. Let me see. From here to here, yes. If I use these 2 points here, using these 2 points, oh, let me try this one. Let me get this well drawn. From this point, that's this point here, to this point. So, this is our level of resistance for this pair for now. So, it might, as you can see, there's a confluence at this point. So, we'll see what happens here. So, the next pair or price may break this level. It may break this level and continue down because the prevailing trend for now is down. The prevailing trend on this pair for now is still down. And it may be targeting, the point it may be targeting is this point here. This is a fib level. Yes, 61.8. This is a fib level. There's a fib level at this 61.8. So the more, what price may be targeting is this 1.1186, or let me readjust this. Let me readjust this at this here. This point. So we have 1.1235. So that comes in somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. Let me mark it up on my 4-hour chart. That comes in somewhere around here. So, sometimes what you see on 4-hour and what you see on the daily, by the time you bring it down to the 4-hour, you need to do a little bit of further correction on it. So this is the point. So if price comes down to this point, this first support, then this point at 1.1187 is second support. So let me move up. I seem to be a bit behind schedule. So looking at now, this is our analysis for this pair yesterday. It looks like where a child did a little bit of scribbling. So the US, so looking at the pound dollar, if we look at it from the daily point of view, the daily candle is not very interesting. It closed as a doji, as you can see, which is not very interesting, and that was what played out yesterday, as you can see. This resistance, they broke above it, came back below it. So now what's the game plan? There exists the potential that they might be coming back down to this level. That's just it. Since they couldn't break above this level, there is the potential that they might be coming back down to this point. But there is something I'm seeing now. There is what you call, some people will call it a master candle, but it is when you have one candle, as you can see this 4-hour candle, there are several candles that the minimum is 4. You have a minimum of 4 candles within the range of this candle. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now this candle qualifies to be what you call a master candle. So this is it here. Well, I hope I got it. So yes, this is it. Let me use the let me use this to draw it out. This point. Okay. This point. Unlock it. Okay. So now, as you can see, you see this candle. You see how price has been dancing within its range. So your first support comes in at 1.3159. Your resistance comes in at 1.3267. Most often, the range between these two, the range of this top to this low, which is 103. Most times, if you get a break in any of these direction, price will do this 103 pips in that direction. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, that's what happens. So the next pair we're moving over to is the EURGBP. And if you look at the EURGBP, the EURGBP seems to have broken this trend line on the daily. And yesterday's candle closed a bit of a bearish. So now looking at it on the 4-hour chart, there exists a potential that price may try to move up a bit. And if it moves up a bit and finds to retest this broken trend line and find sellers, then it may come back down. And if you look at this 4-hour, this 4-hour is playing anchor. So there exists a potential price may move up a bit before coming down. But this is a bearish break, but there is no continuation. So as you can see, price is playing now within the lower range of this candle. So for now, the Euro pound has a bearish bias, but it may correct a bit before continuing in the downtrend. Looking at it from a daily point of view, it's almost like range. So you just need to know where your range top is and your range bottom is. The next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPCHF. Looking at the GBPCHF, you can see, tried to break this trend line, but didn't yesterday. It broke this trend line. This is a trend line it broke to the downside. Tried to go up for a test, but could not, and a drop back. There was this resistance here. This resistance at 1.3127 broke above it and closed back below it. Closed back below it. So now that's a bit of a concern. So, but on the daily candle seems to have a bit of this previous trend line, price broke up, did all this above it, but later came back below that trend line. So this trend line now is acting as resistance. So for now, I can't seem to say what to do on this USDCHF. The first thing I can say is just note where your resistance and support is. And if you notice the same pattern you have, I might just readjust this trend line. Let me readjust this trend line so that it takes into effect the high so far. So if you observe again, there is a master candle developing on this pair. This is it. If you look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th one is still forming. So it's very easy. We've found our resistance here. Resistance at 1.3180. Let me log that in. And where is our support? Our support comes in at this point, 1.3068. So this is the game plan. Either it comes down here and breaks here. If it breaks this support, if it comes down to this point, know that this is your support. If it breaks it, wait for a retest and they move lower. And if it comes down here and finds support, it may move to test this trend line. Above this trend line, it's going up to this point. So that is it for the USD, for the GBPCHF. The next pair I'll be looking at is the AUDUSD. Looking at the AUDUSD, we said this was our resistance yesterday. It broke it. So now let me change the color back to resistance. Price broke it to the upside, and when it came down, it didn't find support there, broke back below it. So what's the game plan? I was thinking that price would come back to retest that point, but it doesn't seem to be the case, which means that most likely price is coming for this trend line. That's where it seems like price is coming for. Price is coming for this trend line. And should this happen, you might see price bounce to this place and move up. Or should this break, wait for a retest and they move lower. But you must bear in mind that either of these lows can play out as potential support levels for price. So you might just do well to note them. Because prices, they have the tendency, they might give price a bit of a run for its money. So these are just points you just need to be aware of. So the first one comes in at 0.7060, second one comes in at 0.7042. So these are points you need to be aware of, because price, it might be coming down to this level. The next pair I'll be looking at is the USDJPY. USDJPY. Looking at the USDJPY, this trend line broke above, went back above it. So going back above this trend line, you might use it as support to move higher. So that's the game plan, because if you look at the close of yesterday, the close of yesterday is an evening star formation, which is a bullish formation. The close of yesterday is a bullish formation, which means that price might still be moving up for today. That means if it should come down to retest this 111, this 110.34, if it finds support there, price may still move higher. So the next pair I will be looking at is the EURGBP. EURGBP broke below this and it seems to be retesting. As you can see, the candle close of yesterday and day before yesterday has weeks to the high, which point to a potential of further downward movement. So on your 4 hour, a break of this rising channel here might send price lower, but it may use this place as support to move higher. So you'll be waiting to sell from either of these higher points here. The next pair I'll be looking at is the GBPJPY. Look at the GBPJPY. I noted this candle range of yesterday, and if you notice, price broke above it, but instead when it came back, it didn't find support there, and it broke back down. But if you look at the daily of yesterday, this support trend line held. This support trend line held, which means that there's a potential that price may pull back a bit before moving high. So a move back above this point. Let me get rid of this so that I can use a ray to notify this point. So a move back above 145.89. A move back above 145.89 may see it come up to 146.47. So this is just, it's back inside this range. But if it goes back above this range, then it might mean this is a deep pretest to move higher. But a break back below this 145.56, this point here, and price will come back down to this lower band of the range. The next pair we'll be looking at is the EURAUD. And looking at the EURAUD, yesterday closed bearish, but you can see price, because of the news from the NZD, price is pulling back into this candle, to the range of yesterday's candle. And as you can see, it gave a bullish railway track here. So there is a potential, and it has closed back inside this trend line. There is a potential that price may drop a bit before moving higher. It may drop like this, then move up into this resistance area. And in that resistance area, there is also a falling trend line. We have this falling trend line here. So the bearish move will be confirmed with a move above this falling trend line and 59.02, 1.5902. So once you get price move above this level, wait for a retest and they move higher on this pair. The next pair I will be looking at is the GBPAUD. Looking at the GBPAUD from the daily point of view, yesterday's candle closed bearish, and if you notice, there's also a range candle here. This green bear bullish candle here. So what do? I pick the top of this candle here. Pocketing. I pick the low of this candle here. So having done that, what I do now is I know that my first level of resistance, and as you can see, this level intersects this trend line. So you have 1.8596 first resistance. Then my first support comes in at 1.8468. So a break above this area may see price move higher. But a rejection from this place may see price drop lower. So the next pair I will be moving into is the USDCAD. I'm almost out of time. Let me hurriedly look at the USDCAD. The USDCAD is testing a resistance. So this is a potential trade. If you get a bearish signal at this one point, this is a psychological level. If you get a bearish evidence here, you can execute this trade for a short position. You can put your stop loss 10 pips above 34.12. As if you get a bearish evidence around this point. As you can see, this red candle here is already playing out an anchor / master candle. 1, 2, 3. The fourth one is being formed. As long as price does not break above the range of this red candle, it has the potential to still come back down to 1.3371. But should price move back above here, and price the bullish move, as you can see, may continue up. So I'm almost out of time. I thank you all for coming and wish you all a beautiful trading day in advance. Thank you.